The mind plunges into confusion, reflecting on the might of Allah, while hearts humble themselves before His greatness. The souls of believers submit to the mystery of His creation. The universe stands as a manifestation of His existence, with its order as evidence of His care for us. Reflection is a gift granted to those whom He wishes to guide. One of the most compelling evidences of the Quran's scientific inimitability is the detailed description of the stages of human embryonic development. At the beginning of its formation, the embryo goes through extremely fine and precise stages, invisible to the naked eye. Even in the case of a miscarriage, these stages cannot be seen. It was only after the invention of the microscope that scientists began to appreciate the remarkable accuracy of the Quranic descriptions of these stages. The Quran describes the stages of creation, first as a nutfa, or drop, then a nutfa amshach, or mixed drop, followed by a clot, and then a chewed lump, formed or unformed. Next, bones are created, which are then clothed with flesh, culminating in the nurturing into another creation.
وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْعَلَقَةَ مُضْغَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِظَامَ لَحْمًا ثُمَّ أَنشَأْنَاهُ خَلْقًا آخَرَ فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ.
Allah, blessed and great is He, lists these stages. The initial stage from clay, where Allah created man from water and earth. Scientists have discovered that humans are 2/3 water, with the remaining third comprising various elements from the soil. The second stage is a drop, where sperm compete to reach and fertilize the egg. Who taught them this path? Who guides them towards the egg?
أَفَمَنْ يَخْلُقُ كَمَنْ لَا يَخْلُقُ أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ.
The third stage is the mixed drop, where 30 hours after fertilization, the first cell division occurs, representing a mixed drop about 4 days post-conception. The fertilized egg, much smaller than a pinhead, is nearly invisible and colorless.
هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا إنا خلقنا الإنسان من نطفة أمشاج نبتليه فجعلناه سميعا بصيرا.
The Quran mentions this stage as the mixed drop. Once a Jew approached the messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, while he was advising his companions. The polytheist had informed the Jew that Muhammad claimed to be a prophet, so he decided to ask a question only a prophet could answer. He asked Muhammad how a child is created, to which the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, replied that a child is formed from both the man's and the woman's fluids. Contrary to the ancient Greek belief led by Aristotle, which held that a man is created from either man's fluid or menstrual blood, and some even suggested that the embryo contained a miniature human in the sperm head, modern science completely denies this. The Quran indicated that human creation is through a process akin to the mating of other creatures, knowledge which scientists only discovered through microscopes in the late 18th or 19th centuries. The fourth stage is the clot, where the fertilized cell acquires a new form, becoming a group of cells seeking to attach to the uterine wall, selecting the best and most suitable spot. The fifth stage is the mudga, or chewed lump, where the embryo resembles a chewed piece of flesh, and body organs, like the nervous system, begin to form, and the heart starts beating. The sixth stage marks the beginning of bone formation. Scientists are astonished by how these cells know to become bones precisely at this time. The answer is that it is by the will of Almighty Allah. The final stage, referred to as another creation, sees the embryo acquiring its final features, with limbs and eyes appearing, and other body organs forming until the end of pregnancy. Blessed is Allah, the best of creators. When these descriptions of embryo creation from the Quran or the Sunnah of his messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, are presented to any scientists, they bow their heads in respect for the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of his messenger. An eminent embryologist, Dr. Keith Moore, a Canadian scientist, was once invited to a medical conference in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Presented with the Quranic verses and prophetic hadiths describing these stages with incredible accuracy, Dr. Moore delivered a lecture at King Faisal University in Dammam, titled Embryology as Described in the Quran and Sunnah, acknowledging the profound alignment of scientific knowledge with the Quranic revelations. Dr. Keith Moore gave a lecture at King Faisal University in Dammam, Eastern Province of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, titled Embryology as Described in the Quran and Sunnah. I also attended a world conference dedicated to the inimitability of the Quran in Moscow a few years ago. There, a man stood up before a vast audience of scientists and declared that the Quranic descriptions of human embryo formation achieve such precision and perfection that even modern science has not yet reached. A journalist asked him if he was a Muslim, to which he replied, "No, but I testify that the Quran is the word of Allah and Muhammad is his slave and messenger." He was told, "This means you are already Muslim," but he responded, "I am now under public pressure which prevents me from announcing my conversion to Islam." However, do not be surprised if you hear one day that Keith Moore has converted to Islam. Among people, scientists feel a sense of reverence for him, knowing that they are knowledgeable individuals who have delved into the mysteries of creation. They have understood the profound depth of his descriptions, and so the universe appears to them as a mirror created to reflect the signs of the might of Allah.